Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to do a few things. Actually, I had a couple ideas that I wanted to do in the kitchen today, but as it is getting later, I might just do one thing. I'm not sure yet. I'll decide as I go, but let's get started. I'm going to tie up my hair and then I'm going to get my ingredients together. We are going to go ahead and do it's called Disneyland corn dogs, and I got the recipe from a lady. She has her own YouTube channel. Her channel is called The Stay at Home Chef. So I thought I'd give it a shot and see how I like that recipe. I made it once before. Before I do get started though, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine at church. And I don't know if you were here with my last videos, and I was trying to cut some vegetables or some fruit probably, and it wouldn't go through, and I said something about maybe needing a knife sharpener. So Janelle, I want to give a shout out to my friend Janelle. Thank you for the knife sharpener. I will definitely be using that, and it's a good color. Okay, so what we're gonna need is, I bought some yellow cornmeal mix, some flour, some pink Himalayan salt, a little bit of sugar. I got some melted butter. Obviously we're gonna use some pure vegetable oil for the frying. And we're gonna mix all this stuff together. Oh, can't forget the egg. We just need one egg for this one. I've got my little skewers here that I'm gonna put the hot dogs on and then fry it like that. Also, I have the hot dogs here, and they are drying in this my cloth here. I don't know if you could see that. I just want them to be dry before I put them in the batter. Let's start with 1 cup of cornmeal. So 1 cup of cornmeal we're going to put in there. And then we're going to go with 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then we're gonna go 2 teaspoons of salt. My favorite salt to use is going to be the Himalayan salt. I really like that. So let's put 2 teaspoons of that in there. Now that's all the dry ingredients. So if you can't remember what I just said, in the description box there will be some, or maybe even flashing across your screen. So I'm gonna mix all this together just so it can be, so all of the dry ingredients could be, I guess a chef would say, married together. I don't know. Anyway, after I get that all mixed up, I'm going to add 1 egg and 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk. I'm gonna add 1 egg. I got some buttermilk here. We're gonna do 1 1/4 cup. This is gonna be somewhat of a short video, so I'm just gonna measure for you here. 1 1/4 cup. And along with that, the last and final ingredient is going to be 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I had already put it in the microwave. All right, so We're gonna go ahead, mix all this stuff together. It should form a nice batter so you can dip all your hot dogs in there. And if it's too thick, you probably want to add a little bit of water or maybe a little bit more buttermilk. Okay, so I just added a little bit of water. It turned out to be like a quarter of a cup, maybe less than that, maybe. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a tall mug like this and pour your batter in. And that's the consistency you want. Okay, so I don't know if I told you, but I have my oil preheating since I started this video, so I'm slow heating it to like 350 at least. So that way when I throw it in the oil after I put the batter on, it should be an easy fry. So I have my little skewers here, and my hot dogs are a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna carefully put the stick in. Make sure it doesn't come out on the sides. You want to make sure that you're able to go all the way through without breaking it. Still need a little bit more practice, I think. So I've only done this one other time. All right. So there's one hot dog on a stick. Alright, so I got 24 of these hot dogs on there, and I was trying to be really careful so that the skewer wouldn't come out the side of the hot dog, and then I just made it, I shaped it a little bit. Okay, so I've got all the hot dogs on the stick. However, I had to cut one because I want to make sure that it goes into the oil as well. This stick is a little bit long, so I'm going to experiment here. So I'm going to do one of each, and we're going to see where that leads. So let's just get to cooking. So we're going to take your hot dog, and you're going to just dip it into this batter here. Just want to make sure it gets all the way around, and you want to make sure that it's staying on, which is like super awesome because it's a thicker batter. So then you put it into your oil. Maybe my oil's not really that hot yet. Maybe I jumped the gun just a little bit, but it's starting to boil, so I mean, you know, bubble up and stuff. But I want to do one at a time because I don't want it to start to open up and do what it's not supposed to do. I did this the last time, and it started opening up, so I'm definitely playing it a little safe this time, and I'm just gonna keep turning it so that it can cook all the way through. And it does look like I am going to have to cut each stick. Okay, so I had to cut some off, so the stick is a little bit shorter, but it'll fit into the pot just fine. So let's try this one, see how that works. And we'll go from there. Again, let's try this one more time. Dip it into the batter. Make sure you get it all the way around. The excess is going to come off of there. You don't want all of it to come off. So then you put it into your oil. It's going to raise up to the top, and then you're going to turn it, because then it's going to, you want it to be brown on both sides. You don't want it to come off of the hot dog, but I could see it coming off a little bit because when I dropped it in there, it probably swished around a little bit. But like I said, you want to make sure it's brown, make sure it's nice and golden brown. However, this one is going to turn out really greasy because my oil wasn't hot enough for that one. But we're going to go ahead and let this swim around a little bit. All of these, this is the length that I had to cut off of the stick. So it was that long, and I'm gonna have to find different ones for next time I make these. I only make these like once in a while so that I could, you know, I do put them in the freezer. So if I'm hungry for a corn dog, throw it in the microwave or in the oven and go ahead and munch on it. Now, like I said, this one is going to be a little like, I'm not going to say raw because it's got a lot of grease down in there. See how it cracked? So we'll definitely try another one. So let's go ahead and try one more into the batter, because I think my oil is definitely hot enough now. So let's try this again. Sometimes you just have to get the hang of it a little bit more than. All right, so let's go ahead and get the excess off of there so it's not too thick. Toss it in your grease. And you see that it popped up on the top already, so it is definitely, the oil's definitely hot enough. I want to hold that down on the bottom for just a little bit so that it could start to get a little bit brown. And if you have your grease warmed up good enough, then you actually it won't puff up so much and you won't have a ball of grease in your mouth. So stay tuned. Like I said, YouTube time, it's like that. Coming right out of the grease. Put it on my cooling rack. So finally, I finished frying up all these bad boys. They don't look too bad, actually. I mean, it's a corn dog. And I've got some mustard and some ketchup here. Go ahead and dip it in there. Let's see how that goes. Normally I like my hot dogs with ketchup and mustard anyway, so here goes. Let's give it a shot. Like, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell, because when I make a video, you'll know.